Ngalin Purse, and is a very famous king. But his previous life is very poor. But of course, one day this kind of happened. And he was like moved tension on devotion to Buddha. And then it's like he threw out this whatever in his palm about the green things. And 4 bits is like beans that fell into the begging bowl. He reasoned over the 4 continents of the 80,000 years. And the 4th continent, according to in the cosmologies, continent of the East, South, Western, and North. And he became the ruler of the empires, or in the emperors, and the king. And some of this kind of the virtues, making the consequent how much it is like this. And according to this kind of the results, we cannot install, how do you say, to contempt or to think, that is not much kind of the virtues, just a little bit. But sometimes small virtue actions, and to make the result huge things like this. And also because of the one of the truth that touched Buddha's heart, he became the sovereign over the realm of the 4 great kings for another 80,000 years. And like 8 great, like gatekeepers, it is the more higher than the desire realms. And they are living in the just the, how do you say, it is the top of the mountain Meru, and he's become the boss of the 4 kings. And then it's 80,000 years he reborn, like kind of become like this. And also, and because of the second, he shared equally with the 37 successive Indras their sovereignty over the heaven of the 33. And he's become the like kind of the equal of the Indras. Indra, it is the king of the 37. 37 or 33? Do you know last time how much you'd studied? 33. Why then you say 37? Okay, I'm just telling, okay? Groups, 4 groups. 12 groups, yes, 12 groups, and 7 groups, 6 groups. How many together? 1 is 12, 2 is 7, last one is 6. 32. Then Indra himself, 33, yes? That is the 33. Here is the 37. Generally speaking, Indra, he has 4 wives. And why it is that the head of, there is a 30, like he's a general, he's like kind of ministers, all of them is 32 are his son, his child. First wife, she has 12 children. Second wife was 7. Third one is 7. Last, his wife was 6 child. And together is the 33, included him, 2 wife added, 4 wife added 37. Maybe is this my information so wrong, okay? And I couldn't read it. Maybe can you look the Abhidhamma Sutta, or can you ask to the Mr. Google some? I think here is the 37 means. It's a 37 means it's like he is like controlling. It's like become the Indus. It's like equal of like this. He become the successor of the like Indus. But it's there is some is like ugly histories. This king was become the equal of the Indus. He's like a karmic result. And then is one is he was jealousy. And it's like, oh, look in this Indus palace, so wonderful. He sits in the same time. But I think this king or some is like if Indus died or Indus something happened, then I may become the really owner of like this kind of something like this. Negative things is he failed them, and the small positive things. How much is the result? Look, this king. Ngaliness, jaru ngaliness. And this is in Tibet is a ngali means from me. N means to sack. Means it's like when he born, I think it's like his mother or something is like himself. It's natural milk is came. And then it's like it says, please to sack me, is to take milk, like something. And like this is very famous. And like this, okay, now I just to say 37 is like this, 33 you knows like this. And 37 informations I can't got, but maybe if you are good intelligent, you can to search, okay? And severance over the heaven of 33s. It is also said that even to visualize the Buddha and throw a floor into the sky will result in your sharing Indus region for a length of time difficult to imagine. And like kind of the one is like devotion, and sometimes you make a little bit kind of the accumulation merit to visualize the Buddha and to throw out the floor like a flower, or it's like a maybe flower, maybe it's like a grain. The ngalin like this king is someone says green, someone says flower. Probably it's relevant is a flower. Why? Because it's like in India, all the times you go to each other, give a kada or something, carry the flower. Like therefore, the flower into the sky will result your sharing Indus region, like same as the become the equal like this. Length of time is difficult to, it's like this. And like difficult to imagine this kind of the situations, it's really, it's like this. I mean, it's like a kind of the some things. It's a result is inconceivable things. It's very much. And also we need to think about that. And like maybe if you take retreat, okay, 3 years, maybe 10 years, every day follow up your 4 sections and meditate on the generation stage, dissolution stage. Maybe you are like kind of the meditate on the spontaneous present, or leap over, or maybe it's like cutting through, and the kind of the like so on. But maybe it's a result is maybe very a little bit. Maybe it's like some in the coincidentally. Maybe you as like some is like inner, externally, some very special conditions coming. Single maybe recite the money or the mentors. Maybe that is more profound than the maybe in like 10 years make retreat. And therefore, sometimes when is the times to something is become the most important. For example, we are like a fixated date, Oh, today is Guru Rinpoche's day. Tomorrow is Dakini day, Buddha's day, birthday, and Parinirvana's day. That's the days we doing something. It's become the multitude. And sometimes it's like our inner most important is the element is the compassion, of course. Maybe it's like sometimes our compassion is coming. Some external conditions is like moved towards. It's amazing. It's compassion. That time is your single recitation of the manis is maybe it's inconceivable purification, accumulation, and it's like best virtues. But maybe if you kind of the lack of the compassion and lack of the really is something, doing something, we can to look at the asangas. It's like kind of the history. 12 years he practiced Buddha Mutiyana, but he never like succeeded. After he left and in the street, he saw the like a sick dog, and that time his the compassion, kindness, inconceivable, really moved. And that time is like he want help and did some more things, and immediately he's purified his all the negative depths, and also it's like accumulation is like a kind of the spontaneously, instantaneously, it's like this. And also it's sometimes we say it's like, some you meet some qualified teacher, and if yourself is like kind of the fortunate student, and they're coming together, maybe it's through the introduction of the nature realities, or maybe it's like remembering something, Pit instructions. One moment, it is like, we say it's like 1 second, picosecond or nanosecond, become the Buddha. That is the absolutely. Sometimes it's like the 100,000 millions killer of the butchers. It's like immediately something enlightenment. He's carrying salt on the weapons, but blood everywhere, but certainly become enlightenment. And this kind of, we have histories. And when is the times, any kind of situations to best to happen to doing virtue things that we don't know. And we need the virtues 100%, according to compassion, according to the 10 positive actions. And positive and virtues bring the happiness. This is obvious. And then it's like, for example, when we are doing virtue things, its book says like it's difficult to see the identity, identifiable, but it's the result, it's the coming. And like same as we are eating the food, it's like we have this experience. We need to eat food and drink tea. Why? In order to survive, to keep in our body. And of course, sometimes it's very bored or boring. Every morning, every day, in the morning preparation, eat, lunch preparation, eat, dinner preparation, eat. And how many times we spend for the preparation food? How many times we spend to eat food? And there is like without you eating food, immediately die. And like this, thirsty, hunger is coming. And we have this notion, then you don't need to push, Oh, please don't eat food. And automatically you are eating, naturally. And why you eat? Because of for my bodies. And then you can eat anything of the food, whatever there's. No. I need more organic, more like kind of natural, healthy. I don't want to eat like jungle, I don't know, but and this kind of food or that comes from McDonald's or in the hot dogs. This kind of taste in China, there is called the instantaneous noodles. So many that very tasty, very tasty. But sometimes inside they looks like meat, plastic. And inside there are a lot of spice and some like and the pack like bag, more plastic bag. My God, says if you burn that, it's like kind of the really gunpowder. It's like they burn, and then you put in the water, and that it's tested. It's kind of distorted, like there is some. And this sort of food, say, I don't want to eat. Okay, very good, taking care. And like this, and when we understand the body needs the food, also it's healthy like this. And it's like kind of our virtue is the best food, organic, natural. And there's, for example, if you eat the 10 positive actions every day, wonderful, you become healthy, and more you become strong, not only physically, mentally, verbally, and also it's like mentally, verbally, it comes from the mind. My body, my verb is come from mind. If there's no mind, how you can to say it's like there's a body and a verb? And that is like this. And when I was childhood, I was very shy in this one, India, in American guys. Then I run. They asked to me, why you are runs? Because I want to run in some sadhas. How many times, how many years you want to run? I don't know exactly. And certainly I'm tired, fed up now, so I go home there. And nothing can reach like this sort. And then it's like we are running after the all day and night. That is the obvious for the food, clothes, these things. And also it's like, of course, this is like kind of direct things, virtual things. To more, it's like kind of the source. It is like kind of we are thinking, I need to more coming food, clothes, drink things. And but we need to run to collect something. Without collect, they cannot come. Basically, we need to earn money. Okay, I'm a run day and night to save the money. Okay, then you can eat your money. No, money need to buy food. Oh, buy food. Maybe you can really money in yours. No, money can't buy the clothes. Okay, like this. Virtue, is like virtues to accumulation virtue. You can to eat a virtue, but virtues can buy, food. Virtues can buy drink things. Virtues can buy beautiful clothes. Virtues can buy building the shutter house. Virtues is like the best money, best kind of that. And therefore, it's any kind of the space-time, any kind of the whenever you be, whatever you do, and whatever you think, whatever you do, each moment remember to say, I need to do virtue. Oh, yeah. I need to do virtues. I need to channel. May all the sentient beings be free from the suffering. May all the sentient beings to be happy. very moved, like kind of faith, devotion. And like this, we don't ask to you have devotion to the lamas or the Buddha. You have devotion to the karma, okay? And it's like causalities. To have faith, devotion, trust, and relying all everything's into your causalities. The causality is the inevitable. Causality is not religious. Causality is not imagined. Causality you're talking about really realities. And that is, if you have, that is whatever you do is quite good. Good. And of course, it's like when we have, we earn a lot of money of the virtues, and then we bought wonderful shelter. It's called the human being's shelter. And also we bought like some food, clothes, and many things. Of course, it's now our conditions. That is like past our salaries of the virtual monies we prepared. And then it's like at the moment we are like kind of enjoyed. But one is like there's not much to do the virtual things. Maybe this one is exhausted, then it's also very much dangerous next time. And therefore, to concerning, and also whatever we like received, for example, you say it's like money, and then you bought clothes, bought food, and this food maybe you are giving to someone. For example, I say this once, I make generosity to the ants, and to a lot of bread, make powder. But it's like ants are so very happy, honey, bread, they're coming to get, they're eating. But if I go to this ant, I like make peace money, and you need to eat. The ants look at me, they're angry. How we can eat peppers? But it's like this. We have the money of the virtues says like you eat right now, not necessary. But we got it, this money we bought a body, we bought like belongings. And then these truths we making regain virtues. And I received this because I done positives. Now this one's also making multiply like kind of the virtues. My body, I'm every day make with you. No, this is not really your melody. This is also not really your melody, and that I forgot it. But anyway, you say, I'm giving my blood, flesh, who wanted it? And then it's like someone says like, you bought your body by your virtual money. Oh, yes, but also these things, I want to make more virtual, like a kind of, you are invest, you're like kind of, to making more virtuous, and to making more like kind of constant. And also I like have things, any kind of things, material things, also like we say, it's like according to object. The superiors offering, inferiors making generosities, and then we are making multiply like virtues. And therefore, it's like also physically to turn, running, circumambulation, prostration, purification, mental, like mentally recite mantras, and like so on, say good things. Like this is like now we have opportunity. When we have these opportunities, we never miss in order to do virtue things. That is the most important. You accept or not accept this reality is like this. I think if you say no, not that, I cannot believe, then okay, can you tell me something believable things? And like this is for me is very much, it is the truth. And any perspective can do some virtual things, very happy. And like, it is also said that even to visualize the Buddha of the throne flow into, this is we already unimagined. And also this is why the Sutta of the Wise and the Foolish says, do not take lightly small good deeds, and believing they can hardly help. And sometimes small virtues and 1 minute to generate bodhicittas. Or maybe it's like you recite the single money or prayers, or maybe you give 1 biscuit offered to the other sentient beings. These small things is like, they are very difficult to help to me. I need to do huge things. Maybe huge things becomes or doesn't help. Maybe small things, you do positive things, maybe huge help. And you do huge positive things, maybe no compassion, no conceptualization, no dedications. Maybe it's a huge artificial activities, not very much to help. But it's like really enhanced your smallest virtue doing things in enhanced by the application, bodhicitta, non-conceptualization, and the dedications may be helped so much. For drop of the water one day one, in a time can fill a grand pot. And of course it's like a huge pot. Like a drop of the lake waters, it doesn't fill up immediately. But you keep there is like times in some longer periods, and slowly this drop of the waters to fill up this big, huge container. And like this is a very, very important example. Why I'm saying, like practitioners, generally when we're sitting or like walking, sitting, talking, and eating, or it's that during the times we call the post meditations, movement times. We are not much doing the virtual things. Our mind is very much distracted, and that is not very good. It is like any kind of your 4 activities: eating, sleeping, working, and sitting. This kind of 4 during the activities, you need to, as much as we can do, virtue. Then you're doing something like the 1 by 1. It's like each moment you do, then this is like kind of the leak of the virtues. And after maybe file, it can fill up all your minds, all the negativities of dirty things go away, purified. And like this, maybe it's like very important, small things. And also the treasure of the freedom qualities. This is Jigme Limba's text, I think so. From seed no bigger than a mustard grain grow the vast ashota trees, which in single years and can put out branches, each a link in length. But even great is the growth of good and evils. Do you have questions? Because the weather or something is very much sleepy. Okay, questions.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Dominica Seslik says, what about killing insects as ticks, which cause serious illness in human and animal bodies? My dog has many ticks. Every day I help him to remove them from his body. If I let them throw them away, they might cause damage in other body. If I kill them with a mantra Om Mani Deva Shri, can it help the ticks?
Some sugar in my ear. Huh? Honey. Ah, honey, there is. It's okay, but. And okay, la. This question is, of course, you need to save your dog. You want to kill the ticks, and also maybe it's possible to take out instead killing, and to put in the grass bag. Maybe it's more better. And of course, there's this kind of happened already in the Konsolam Shalom say. The owner of the sheep sometimes need to kill many, like ticks. And also it's like you have 100 the sheep, definitely you are going to health. Like this is, you have one dog, according to this dog you're doing negative things. Of course there is the negative influence, but then it's like how we can to avoid that, and maybe to pick up and the ticks to maybe to throw out. But it's, they are going to die, and you put poison and to them, then I think it's direct killing. Of course it is a negative. Sorry.
Thank you. Hiroko Kawai from Japan says, Rinpoche, thanks for your teachings. Although I am a beginner Buddhist, I believe in cause and effect. If my understanding is correct, you have explained that the meaning of cause and effect and interdependence are the same. Then, regarding interdependence, I haven't studied much and can't understand so far. So, may I ask if you have any plan to teach us about interdependence in the future?
And causality is the mechanism, how it is works, and then it's like the structure is how it is works. These causalities. What I said, causality or no. First one. Causalities, and then it's like the explanation is the 12 link of the interdependence, how it is the like kind of the cause result cause, it works on this kind of. Therefore they are like kind of, one is explanation way of the explain it about causality, One is the causes as the reality itself, like this. Okay, if you are interested to study Dharma more and more, okay, we can do in the future study the 12 link of the interdependent sila.
Thank you. Irina Timoshenko says, Rinpochela, can you please recommend which books I can read to learn more detailed about the 12 links of dependent origination?
What you said? Third?
Can you please recommend which books I can read to learn more about detail about the 12 links of dependent origination?
Okay. Gateway the knowledge by the Mohan Rinpoches. And there is like a resuming and a short bridge that is maybe difficult, but already translated by the Eric Bema Gonzong. There's 3 books. Inside the explanation of the 12 link of the interdependence, fantastic. You can start this book. No more. Okay. Like this, and then it's like here is the by the Jigme Rinpoche example. This is Ashoka trees. That is also yesterday we mentioned. Ashoka trees is like really to make the huge is a result. The seed is like itself mustard grains, very, very small. And then you put into the ground, it's grow up very fast and very quickly. It's like this. It's like kind of the every year is like big kind of grow up, and can put out the branches, each of the lingus in the length. Lingus normally in the Western style, I think it's 2 miles. Yes, lingut. And in a Buddhist ancient measurement, we measure the first measure is this one. Like between this. Of course, you can do this one is divided to short way, and like this. Here is the 12th. This between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? Huh? Well, normally we count this between length. This is like how do you say it's very ancient systems. Based like you make length. Sometimes this one, sometimes this one. I think it's like this one is. I measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, 12. This is 1, and here is we have 4. These things is 4. Okay, and this length you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 500 is 1 link, and 2 mile. It is like something, okay, but this is why I'm. Huh? Very easy. You have your own. Here is this 4. This is we call the trukon, ndamkon, and then it's jongda and the potit. I think it's this potit. For example, sore. Tr, Ndam, and Jongdra, and Botse. And it's a ling is like a Botse, okay? Ling Botse means it's like a, I think it's Botse is like more than the 2 mile. 2 mile in the mile is the English language. I think it's 2 mile is almost 3 kilometer. 3 kilometers. Like this, but it's this make joke, okay? Why? It's a poetic way. This tree is like every year is like cannot to grow up the language. It's like every year is like maybe it's like how do you say 2 miles. Then it's almost a few years as a city is can completely cover. But this is like a poetic way. It's the Ashoka tree is normally it's quite really most giant tree in our world. That is obvious. And it's very, very big. And this one is also, here is the example is, it's a small seed, it's a result, it's a huge like this. And then it's like, but even the great is the growth of the good and the evil things, and negative like action or the positive actions, small these things also the result inconceivable more like maybe this tree Ashoka example is not maybe not like nothing else. The seed of the Ashoka tree is no bigger than in the mustard seed, like a very tiny seed, but the tree developed so quickly that is the branch grow as much as the lingu in 1 year. 1 year. That lingu is like kind of the in Tibetan is a Bokse. Bokse. Maybe someone read the Tibetan. Is a Bokse means like this, okay? Like a soul and tr and dam and jongdra. Jongdra means it's like when you make the conch and the hearing sound in the ancient times, like from Dzogchen monastery in the University of Singha is jongdra-chik. How they can then it's like the jongdra 8 jongdra is like maybe like 1 pakse. It's like a pakse means like a ling, and quite this system is like very much kind of the ancients. For example, when we look at the time, it's a particle. Is that this type particle, we take example, the iron particle is the most tiny. In the scientific, it's the most, the tiny atom, which one? Earth or fire or iron or water? But this is hadron-G or not, doesn't matter, but it's, for example, it's iron inside, this iron, okay? Itself is a particle. This particles, most tiny particle is iron. Water, like smallest atom, okay? No, cannot go more than that. This one is like and iron, and then is water, then is like the rabbit's head, the top, then is the egg of the louse, and then is a louse, and then is the barley, and then is counting this, and then this, and then like this. And this is like kind of the ancient and like this. This is one is a mathematicians is takes us like same as the is in our westerns. It's like maybe it's a quantum or maybe it's like astrologies. You first time you measure like one there is one person and he's calculate some measure the rice and then big sack and then inside, like he checking one rice, and then he calculated the size, everything's measures. He can to say you exactly in this sack how many rice. And like this, therefore, is the measure is the science, or sometimes measure, and then you can to say it's like go like this. But this ancient systems like this, of course, it's modern. It's like a more deep, but ancient is very nice. But anyway, yet even this imagine is not adequate to the describe the profuse growth of the fruit of the positive and negative actions, and in the the development of the virtue and the non-virtues. And this one is like cannot comparisons of this Ashoka's tree. Why it is like the virtues, non-virtues is a very, 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 very time, but sometimes smallest, and to give the huge result. And it's like impossible to take example like this, positive and negative actions. And of course, it is like wonderful. And but other hand, if we do the negative things, it's a huge result. If we do small positive things, a huge result. That is nice, very nice. I like very much, because huge to do the virtue is complicated. And if I'm recite one mani, I'm become enlightened. Oh, that is wonderful. I don't need to be asleep. I don't need to like this. Okay. And now it's like we are talking about blah, 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 blah. But also it's like there the tiniest transgressions of the precepts too give rise to a great evils. And also it's like here it is talking about the individual liberation vow precept. When you take any kind of vows, commitment, benefit for sentient beings, if you are against it, this transgression of the precepts, and against it, then it's like arousing the great evils. And this kind of, maybe if you say it's like you have the vows, do not smoking, do not drink alcohol, do not killing, do not stealing these things. And then it's like against this precept, and then it's like more negative consequences can come. How it is that happened, there is, history of the Elaparitas. One day, Elaparitas, Patris, king of the Nanga, came to see the Buddha in the guise of the universal empire. And he came to in the front of the Buddha Shakyamuni. He's become very handsome, and he's like a kind of the show in the form of the universal empire, like India, something like this. And then it's like the Buddha scolded him, shouted to him, "Why you are coming like this? You show me your own really both. Why you artificial?" Instead harm that you did to the teachings of the Buddha Kashyapa. Enough for you. Now do you want to harm mine too? And he was in the Buddha Kashyapas during that time. And he was there, and he also made problems in this, the Kashyapas disciples or the rules. And then now you are also coming in my retinue, so you want to make him problems. you need to show your own body and listen to the Dharma in your own real form. And then that is the Buddha, he said to these Nangas. And too many beings will hurt me if I do so. Replied the Nangas. I'm surely, if I'm sure it's my only real truth one, and maybe it's like people can do harm to me. And that is maybe it's like this. Okay, what happened? Amazing, it's like pushing something me here like this. And maybe that is... Okay, do you have some questions? Argue with me? Argue with me. Can you argue with me? Allah. Coming, this one's Nanga's coming up. And how it is looks like Nanga's coming, don't now question. And other questions do you have? Because I'm sleepy. Yes, VP Mahas. You can write to send. Okay, then come here. Yeah, come. Motivation. Motivation and deed. Mm-hmm.
Any kind of how we know it's the motivation, because we can see something good and you say that motivation can be bad, but eternally nobody can see the motivation of
To see something. Motivation?
each act.
Huh?
Each act is done by motivation.
Yes. And then?
And then we see only the acts, but we don't see the motivation. How and who can see
Without motivation, how we can do acting?
No, it's not that.
Huh?
Every act is done by motivation. We can see good acts, but we don't know the motivation of the
Good
doer.
acting.
Yeah, we don't know the motivation of the doer. How we can, as we cannot see the motivation, how it works.
Which motivation?
It's a general question.
General questions, but it doesn't corresponding. My meaning is like motivation, say. Why you are acting? Which kind of motivation? You say good means which good?
How to define, how to know the motivation of someone?
Someone?
Because we see only the acts, not the motivation. Then how it works?
To yourself or to others?
Any act, for any kind of sentence. It could be me, it could be someone else. How to know the motivation of someone if we see...
But if someone is moving and you cannot to say judge, you cannot to say it's maybe only acting.
Yeah, but then how is karma working? Because
we don't know. Maybe this person has good motivation.
Yes, but then how is defined? As we don't see the motivation of anyone.
But you can to see yourself, yes?
Yes.
Okay, that is most important. Maybe it's I don't know your question is like, for example, if I have motivation to do benefit, I generate, then I'm acting. Or maybe you have motivation of the faith devotion, and then you like kind of the acting to do something, prayer or something. And then it's a motivation.
Because yesterday, I think you spoke about good deeds with could be with bad motivation. Bad deeds can be done by good motivation, like the one who killed the sheep.
But then it's how to see. You mean is to other people or yourself?
Yeah, can.
Not can. You cannot to others. We don't know why we need to check.
Just because we don't know how it. I mean, sometimes wrong things happen. We don't know that.
Wrong things happened. If others are doing whatever, maybe they looks like doing negative things. Maybe their motivation is a good.
Yes.
Maybe the good things motivation is bad. That we don't know.
But who knows then?
Only Buddha. Nobody knows.
And the karma is going.
Their response, their business. It's not our business. Our business. Am I doing things? Is a things correcting? My motivation's good. We can to check. We can to see. And I'm doing some more things, but my motivation's good. Or I'm doing very big virtue, but my motivation not good. We can to say others. You thinking about others or yourself? This is completely you need to say. The others is generally you can to say yes that there is. Oh yes, there is. Someone has a good motivation, action is negative, like this compassionate captain. Or maybe it's someone as like kind of the doing very good, virtuous look like, but motivation is very bad. There is example. Do we have?
The action is bad.
No, the motivation is bad. Like maybe it's a black horse rider. Okay? Yeah. Yet this we can to say. He's doing the Dharma, practicing benefit for the benefit. These things, okay? Then we can to see. But now it's the point. This result is we can to see. There's talking about, for example, compassionate captain. He did actions, killed black guy, robber. Motivation is like very excellent, but he accumulated as such, instead going to the hell. Why? Because of his pure motivation. And also it's like the black rider horse, he's doing his acting same as a lama. Like generated bodhicitta, he's going sadhana to follow up. Acting, if it looks like virtue, but motivation bad, he went direct to hell, yes? Okay. This one is like a kind of, yesterday we talked about motivation, positive, action is completely positive, fantastic. And also it's like motivation and movement action is negative. It's also obvious, there is negative. But now it's like, how do you know that what I mean? There is an answer. And there is like kind of the consequences there. But how I to know means is like, then you need yourself or to other.
And what is the balance between the motivation and the act?
Balance.
Yes, if someone do
to make
who is more powerful, the motivation or the act?
Is in book says the motivation is the most important. Have you heard? Did you study it? In the beginning of this book, everything is the depend circumstances. That entirely depends the mind. Therefore, motivation is the really root of the any actions. It says yes.
Yes.
Then why you ask to me?
Because I had one dot.
Ah, okay. Other questions? That's all. Provoked to me, so I'm very happy. Serious.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Alex Lipatkin. Alex Lipatkin says, thanks for the instructions, Rinpoche. Please tell us what time is preferable to read a long nungro and at what time to read the sadhana of a deity? Morning, afternoon, evening?
Preliminary practice, any sadhana, any times, everywhere, and whenever you want. I mean, it's like a preliminary practice. You quoting the name of the preliminary practice. It's better to do in the morning, and afterwards, and then it's like in the morning to follow the sadhana, the creation stage. In the evening, follow the dissolution stage. And like this, that I think is like this, yes?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Dinarazai says, thanks, Rinpoche. It happens that you are doing something with good motivation, but the result is not very good. People get offended or there is an awkward situation. Does this mean that the motivation is bad or karma?
Okay. Then people is doing good means surely result is good. But we think it's like someone's all the time is killing. And this person thinks, I'm doing good. Why killing? And then, of course, result is very strange. And then it's good things is doing things surely result the good karma. That is the karma. If you will say it's the good things doing it, but maybe it's not good. And I'm saying someone's hunters, butchers, some doer of the negative things. They say, I'm doing very well. Sir. Okay, that is the obvious. Even the Dharma practitioners, I'm practicing. Oh yes, but completely mixed up, worldly concerning, and kind of the very much artificial. And also it is like kind of the mothily. Inside there's a lot of doubt, lot of hesitation, and no certainty, but in the mirthily or externally doing something, maybe nothing result, it's maybe nothing. And this is like immediately, it's like a karmic result. It's difficult. And then it's like you say I'm doing good, but maybe it's nothing enough, like this. And like this, karmic kind of the causalities, the inconceivables, this Nangachun, this Nangar persons, he said, if I'm sure you, Buddha, my real form is, I think it's like beings is hurted to me. Then it's like replied this Nanga, and so the Buddha placed him under the protection of the Vajrapani. Vajrapani is the most powerful, and no Buddhist cannot attack to him. And then it's like this changed into a huge serpent. Serpent is the huge snake. Several links in the length, lingus in length. And like kind of several, it's like maybe few miles came to reach these snakes. Very, very strong snake, very, very long snake. And on his head there grew the great Elipata trees. And also it's like sometimes maybe this kind of very funny things. Great Elipata trees. Maybe you think it's like snake and the head, how it can to grow up the trees. And this is the possibility. Have you seen you can look in the YouTube. There is one guy, not really one guy, few like this happened. And the one guy, he is like beginning very much healthy. He's married. He has one child or two child. And certainly he's sick. And then it's like his arm is like kind of many, looks like tree. And then bigger and bigger everywhere. And his tree, afterwards all his both is hand is like absolutely tree. Every ears grow up. And then start also in his head and leg. And then it's everywhere it's like he's become tree. And like this. And then it's of course wife cannot and children. And then it's one Western, it's like a doctor tried to help them, but I don't know, this is impossible to cure this sickness. And absolutely when this person sits, it looks like a tree. And like this, sometimes it's a karmic causalities. It's very funny. And also maybe this kind of the snake and grow up in the head like a kind of the Elipata trees. And crushing him with its hair. It's the roots crawling with insect which caused him terrible sufferings. And also it's like this head looks like a horn or looks like something. It's a very, very huge tree. But also in the below of these trees, there's a lot of maggots and like kind of the insect crawling with insects. It's like this kind of. Then his Buddha was asked why he was like this. And then it's like the apply, like like a Buddha. What he is like did, and he said it's like replied long ago during the era of the Buddha Kashyapani, and like a kind of this eon or the timers, the first Buddha. In just like we have in this world, there is like 1,000 Buddha is coming, and this is like kind of the histories. And the Kashyapa is the, I think is the first or the second Buddha. It's like this. In our world, when it's like start this world, and first is like air, of course, and then is water, and then is water inside slowly, water has become mud, and then is the lily flowers come. And then is like in the formless realms, they can to see this one, and young this formless Dharma, some like the beings, asked to the old one, what happened there? And then they says, wow, maybe it's like our universe is coming and there's 1,000 flower. Maybe Buddha is appeared there. So 1,000 Buddhas appearing. I think it's today Dharma cities people's big kind of the sleeping, sorry. And then it's like every sometimes it's coming. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni is the fourth Buddha. And then it's like Akashapa is maybe it's like the was like first Buddha. During his teaching, like when he was, it's like Kashyapa is like teaching histories absolutely gone. It's maybe millions years before, like this. And he was, it's like also that time he was a monk. One day his robe got caught on the big edifice, this tree. And the tree growing beside the path and was pulled off his like rope. He became extremely angry and violently his precepts. And he's like kind of he forgot his precepts and totally against the precepts. And then it's like he cut maybe this tree. He cut tree down. That you are today is the effect of that, like this candle. And like this sort of the karmic effect is the inconceivable. And therefore, it is like we are need to try to avoid as much as negative things. And as much as we can to collect the positive actions is most important. And this is like kind of the self-dignity, like kind of the benefit. For all good or bad actions, the intention is by far the most important factor that interminers, whether they are positive or the negative, heavy or light, and also it's like virtuous deeds and non-virtuous deeds, and everything is heavy or like kind of light, and also it's like this kind of black or white, and everything is very much depends it is the kind of the motivations. Most important factor that determines whether they are the positive or negative, heavy or light. And also as the motivations, there is many different type of the motivation. But the best motivation is like we need to concern benefit for the sentient beings. And if like kind of the sum as the motivation corresponded to bodhicitta and Buddha's compassion minders, and then it's like even if you are doing some negative things, but maybe more light, maybe not that kind of the heavy things. And also it's like if you do positive things, maybe your motivation is not very good. Maybe you're doing something, acting huge things, but the result is maybe it's like someone like this. And it is like a tree. If root is medicinal, the trunk and the leaf are also be medicinal. If the root is poisonous, the trunk and the leaves will be poisonous too. And like this, if we can to take example, our body, speech, mind, The mind is the root of our body, speech, mind. Like the body, speech, mind, body and speech are like a kind of the trunk, and it is like a kind of the branches, leaves. The really root is the mind. If mind is become the positive, and everything is become the positive. Mind is become negative, everything is become the negative. Therefore, it is like kind of the negative or more the positive. It is very, very important to check again and again. It is like motivation. And medicinal leaves cannot grow from the poisoned root. And if this like kind of root is the poisoned, and the cause of the poisoned, the result harvested, and like kind of the maturations, and never like kind of positive, negative things. If like root is negative, automatic leaf and tongues are the negative. And also it's like the root is positive, and all the whatever grow up is positive. Root is negative, everything's grow up is the negative things. And also if one intention developed from aggression or attachment, it is thus not entirely pure. And of course, when we are doing things, whatever we're doing things, maybe even the virtue things, and it is related to that desire attachment, related to the anger, aversions, and it's like this, then is the mind is not entirely not pure, and then that is the negative. The action that follow is the found to be negative, however positive it might seem. And that is there is the compassionate captains like this. I think it's I need to stop. It's almost impossible to continue. Maybe I will give you wrong information, and today is also Saturday or Friday, and it's maybe it's a I'm not in Dharma city now, something else. And maybe if I give you a wrong information, it's not very good. And if I say just blah, 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 it's maybe for you it's bored. I need really to focus on it's inconceivable, my eyes sleeping. And in this perspective, today I want to stop there. Very much sorry. And you don't need to also praise you can do at home. And to go to prepare your lunch, okay? And I want to stop there. So sonam do tom chezi panya top ni padanam. Higa nanchi walam trupai sopan solin do kondo wa hyo. Hyoncho sancho rambo che ma shi pa na she jerut. Shi pa nyamba me pa ton kone konda pe wa.